What's good with Kato, Lamar, Terry, Big L? Y'all, this is the episode 8 BMF season 1 finale breakdown. We're talking about everything from episode 8, things that you saw and might have missed. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and rip the band-aid off. The Terminator is dead. The Terminator is gone. I don't know about y'all, but watching the episode and actually seeing this play out, I could not believe it. I would not have believed it if you told me. Something in my spirit just gave Lamar could never die. Maybe it's also the fact that the real Lamar that this character was based off of is still alive today. So I was like, oh, bet we about to see Lamar for like 3 seasons at least, and he about to be out here just terrorizing, and it's going to be a never-ending game of cat and mouse. Nope, that's it, that's all. After a little cute, little coy moment where he's able to get himself patched up at the mortuary. Shout out to my man Donnell Rollins, the super funny, hilarious comedian who made a guest star appearance in this episode as the nasty, gritty, utterly ridiculous mortician who patches Lamar up before he's able to narrowly escape with the hearse right before Meech and the gang can pop up and actually do what they came to do. A lot of this episode, we saw them on the hunt for Lamar because they were trying to definitely dead all of this beef, dead this whole that he's coming for them, they coming for him. They had to put Lamar on the ground so they could rest well at night, but I don't know. I just didn't think it was actually going to happen. But it did. And it happened in the most interesting twist of events. B-Mickie was the key to all of it. And while I was feeling like B-Mickie was a snake just waiting in the grass to turn coat, he actually stayed true to Meech in this episode and wind up turning on Kato in the process. This is what allowed them to actually get the drop on Lamar so that they could actually take him out. And while Meech is taking out Lamar, B-Mickie is taking out Kato. In the wildest turn of events, because the fact of the matter is B-Mickie was actually in love with Kato, and we see this after he actually takes her out. He is depressed, he is down, he is struggling to deal with his decision, but he made a decision about family over love. And I guess after Meech comes to him and actually lets him know, like, yo, I knew about her and Lamar this whole time, and they have their whole little back and forth. So we have a moment where B-Mickie is like, yo, what was you going to do if I didn't tell you? And it's like, yo, you knew what I was going to do. I think they have a moment there where it's like off screen or off camera where he comes to the conclusion that she actually is a snake and he decides to be the one to take her out. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't want Kato to die. Like, I know a lot of y'all have been in my DMs, y'all have been on my Twitter, y'all have been letting your good sis know that Kato had to go, but for whatever reason, I just felt like sis was redeemable. I felt like sis was put between a rock and a hard place. I felt like sis was doing the best she could with a very, very tough situation, and I wanted her to walk away with her life. She might not have been able to walk away with the love of her life. She might not have been able to walk away with all of her teeth, but she needed to be able to walk away with her life. But in this episode, that actually ended as well, because in the scene where Lamar dies, Kato dies shortly after. Now, another thing that happens with B-Mickie in this episode, which plants the seeds for next season, which has already been greenlit by Starz, is that they actually find the gun that he was supposed to throw off, but he has been keeping because he is in love with this gun more than he was actually in love with Kato. And this is the gun that he actually shot J-Mo with, and they can actually link it. So by the end of the episode, he's sitting in the interrogation room and he's going to have to make a decision. Is he going to eat the bodies that's on his gun, or is he going to give up Meech and help Bryant take Meech down? Now, what kills me about this whole thing is, like, yes, I know Meech has been a pain in your side, Detective Bryant. I know he has gotten on your nerves and got a little bit too cocky, but y'all was working well together until y'all weren't. And I get that your partner died, but you didn't even really like that man anyway. So what exactly are we doing, sir? What exactly is the beef? You could have literally like washed your hands of it and been done and just move forward. Now you're on this vendetta about your partner, which I personally think he's on this vendetta to bring Meech down so that he can save his livelihood and his life, because the lieutenant thinks that he's crooked and thinks that he's working with Meech anyway. So the only way to get out of that narrative is to actually be the one to catch Meech, put him in jail, and then bada bing, bada boom. I can't be working with him because I just turned on him. Speaking of turned on him, in another major change of events in this episode, Terry decides to walk away from the business. They actually wind up getting a larger settlement from the hospital, a very, very nice settlement up to the tune of $150,000. And Charles wants to take that and start a luxury car service. He actually pitches it to Terry in this episode, and Terry takes a little bit of time to think about it, but ultimately arrives at the decision that he's actually going to take it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when I was watching this, I was like wondering, like, is Terry going to actually make this decision? Because he sat down with them to actually tell them, and in that moment, Wanda had the baby, and she's like, you know what, I'm out, I'm going to Pennsylvania. I think that was the thing that actually pushed him to like, yo, I'm actually going to get out, because while we have seen Terry questioning it throughout this season, he has never really pulled the trigger on backing away from Meech, on removing himself from the game. Even when he was severely uncomfortable and having to do violent acts, it just made him not feel like his best, right? But it wasn't until Wanda was walking out the house with that baby that I think he's like, oh, this got real, and now I really need to be done. Thing about it is, this actually sets us up for next season so that we can see, one, how is Meech going to handle all of this by himself? Two, is Terry gone and gonna stay gone? I got my money on Terry makes his way back, but that's just me. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. BMF may have ended. However, Power Book 2 Ghost has started, and we will be breaking down season 2 of that. I also have videos of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan on this channel, as well as breaking down the original Power series. So we have tons of content around the 50verse, and you do not want to miss when I post a new video. So hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so that you keep it locked for that content. It's your good sis Erica Vane. I would love to know what you thought about the episode in the comment section down below. So go ahead down there and tell me what you thought, and let's get to talking about it. Until the next video, bye.